Endings suck. If an author messes up an ending, it could potentially ruin the property, even if the rest of the series has been good up till that point. My Hero Academia has recently ended, and its ending was controversial. Needless to say, this video will include spoilers from here on out. To give a very brief summary, My Hero Academia tells the story of a boy named Izuku Midoriya, who dreams of becoming a superhero. Midoriya is one of the few humans that was born without a quirk, i.e. a superpower. He is 1 in 5 that is born quirkless. He's told repeatedly that he cannot become a superhero because he's quirkless. One day, Midoriya managed to impress his idol, the #1 hero, All Might. All Might reveals that his quirk, One for All, can be transferred to other people and offers it to Midoriya. Midoriya jumps at the opportunity and eventually becomes the hero Deku. Fast forward to the end of the series, Deku is facing off against Tamura Shigaraki, the current wielder of All for One. Deku defeats Tamura by transferring One for All into him. By the end of the battle, Deku is left with the embers of One for All, but that doesn't last. Eventually, he loses it all and becomes quirkless once again. He ends up becoming a teacher at UA High School, helping train other kids in their dream to become heroes. Teaching is obviously an important job, but man, even Aizawa is dogging on him. When it became clear that Deku was losing One for All, I remember all the memes online claiming that he was going to become a pizza cook. I wondered why though, people like pizzas. The epilogue makes it seem like he has lost touch with all of his friends. I don't know if this is meant to mean that he never speaks with any of them anymore, or if they are just never able to get all together and hang out like a class. The latter is understandable, just the sad truth about becoming an adult, you never get to hang out with all your friends again. You're just all far too busy. The former would just be sad for many different reasons. The final scene has All Might present Midoriya with a gift. We never get a good look at it, but it's a support item that would let Deku become a superhero again. It was apparently funded by his friends from Class 1A. The final shot of the manga shows adult versions of Class 1A, including Shinzo, going off to clean up some disaster. So, why is this bad? Our hero sacrifices his powers in order to stop some otherwise unsurmountable evil and has to live the rest of his life as a muggle. There are 2 very popular anime that end on this premise, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Hunter x Hunter. And they weren't anywhere near as controversial. I'm gonna separate the remainder of this video into 2 parts, themes and timing. Let's start with themes. My Hero Academia begins with Midoriya being told that he could not become a hero because he was quirkless. Midoriya then said F that and showed his mettle by trying to rescue his former friend / childhood bully, Bakugo, from a slime monster. Midoriya's courage inspired All Might to push himself to rescue both boys. Now, apparently the original version of Midoriya would have remained quirkless and had become a hero using gadgets and technology to help him fight. Kind of like Batman. This is especially interesting considering Deku's habit of analyzing quirks. It would have been interesting to see him have to creatively find ways to take apart his superpowered foes. This version of Deku was scrapped and instead Midoriya was given the superpowers of essentially Superman. Now, this could still work, especially since Deku still needed to adapt to the powers, since the strain could potentially kill him. Well, Deku managed to adapt to the powers about halfway through Season 2. He still couldn't access 100% of the power, but he could reliably use them without breaking himself. Then there's the ending. Deku loses his powers and becomes a teacher. Again, that's fine. Teachers are important. But the moment he's given some fancy support equipment, he jumps back to being a superhero. Is the lesson of this story really that you need to be born special to be a hero? Heck, not even special really. The majority of the population have quirks. Deku falls into the 20% of people that are quirkless. He is one of the few who are not special. Also, did Deku really not realize that he could use support equipment to become a hero? He used a lot of support equipment in his earlier days. Surely after losing the embers of One For All, he could have still used something to help him become a hero. I mean, even without One For All, he's still easily one of the strongest students in his class physically, at least top 5. But no, that apparently never occurred to him, so he decided to become a teacher. Again, nothing wrong with him being a teacher. And the reason I keep saying this is because there are a lot of people on Twitter defending the end of My Hero Academia by arguing that the people complaining about Deku becoming a teacher just don't respect teachers. And well, I'm a victim of the American public school system, so you know what? That's my bias. But that is besides the point. Deku could work at a pizza restaurant, and that wouldn't change my opinion. If Deku wanted to retire from being a pro hero and work at a 9 to 5, that's fine. But Deku didn't want to retire from hero work. I know this because the moment he is offered some fancy support equipment, the dude jumps back to being a pro hero. Heck, maybe he plans to continue being a hero and a teacher like Aizawa and All Might did. That would be consistent with his character. The problem is that Deku allows being born quirkless to define him. Ironically, a lot less than Bakugo did by the end of the series. So let's look at the other two characters. Edward loses his ability to use alchemy, not because he wanted to defeat the big bad, but because he wanted to save his brother. Edward obviously misses being able to use alchemy, but he adjusts. At the end of the day, Alphonse is more important than his ability to use alchemy. Another big difference between Ed and Deku, Edward never stops being proactive. Ed and Al go on parallel journeys to learn more about the world and study more about alchemy. Deku decides to become a teacher. Again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I feel like I need to keep repeating that, but it's obviously not what he wants to do. Deku wants to be out in the field, saving people. Gon is actually the opposite of both these guys. He didn't even know about Nen at the start of the series. Gon has one goal: find his father. It's literally in the name of the series. Jing is a hunter, Gon is a hunter that is hunting another hunter. A hunter, if you will. Listen, I don't know if that's actually the reason behind the name. Don't quote me on that. Gon giving up his powers was technically an accident. Gon made a Nen vow requesting all the power he'll ever get in exchange for his life, and holy shit that he used that power to full effect. By the end of it, Gon is left at death's door and needed a wish-granting trap to heal him. By the end, Gon is reset to the point he was prior to learning how to use Nen. It's never stated if Gon could potentially relearn how to use Nen. Gon's story ends before it comes up. But Gon does find his father. He has to climb this big-ass tree in order to do it, but Jing meets him at the top, and the two have a heart-to-heart. Gon climbs this big-ass tree as a muggle. If it was Deku, dude would set up camp at the bottom of the tree and spend the next 8 years teaching children how to climb trees. Speaking of that, weren't we supposed to see Deku's father before the end? What the F happened to Deku's father? So, to summarize, Gon found his father, went home to his aunt and grandmother, doesn't even care about Nen afterwards. Edward got his brother and his arm back. Never got the leg back, but you know, work in progress. Then went on a journey to study more about alchemy. Deku defeated the current big bad, then took a job teaching children how to do a job he's not able to do anymore until someone tells him that he can become a hero with technology, a resource Deku has been using throughout the series. That is almost as embarrassing as someone forgetting they have legs. Timing is... Let's cut out the middleman here. It's the shipping wars. It's all about the shipping wars. You can't throw a rock without hitting someone who has an opinion on ships. And don't get me wrong, most shippers aren't bad. It's just the worst ones are very, very loud. and things happened so fast it gave me whiplash. By the end of chapter 428, I thought the Deku x Bakugo fans were gonna burn the world to the ground. In inverse, Deku x Ochaku fans were cheering through the streets as if their favorite soccer team won the World Series. Go Ravens. Then chapter 429 happened, the Deku x Ochaku ship didn't materialize. The fans of that ship were on life support. And then, when the plot for the final chapter leaked, and that's when all opinions of the manga dropped. Nobody seemed happy. So many cuck jokes dropped. Maybe I was disconnected, but I didn't really see that happen much during Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's run. I guess that's partially because social media sites weren't as all-encompassing as they are now. Even so, it seemed pretty obvious that Edward and Winray would end up together, and they did. I don't think there are many people shipping the main characters of Hunter x Hunter. They are quite young, but I do recall seeing some Gon Killua shippers. Anything else would be, I'm gonna use the word disturbing. Though unfortunately, the disturbing seems to be the most canonical.
Have you ever been on a date before? Sure, plenty of times, except most all of them are with my Aunt Mito. Oh. Sometimes ships with all-female crews would stop by Whale Island, and some of them would only go out with guys who were younger than them. I'd show them around town, and they'd teach me a bunch of stuff. They call women like that cougars, isn't that crazy?
To summarize my point, the fanbase was divided by their favorite ship. A large part of the fanbase was unlikely to be happy no matter who it would turn out to be. You can argue that the mangaka not making an official pairing would leave it up to the viewer's interpretation, but that answer doesn't leave anyone happy. So, did you like the ending of My Hero Academia? Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Also, tell me, what should Deku's Pizza restaurant be called? I'm thinking one for pie and pie for all. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash that like button like Bakugo is smashing Uraraka. And if you have enjoyed my inane ramblings, please subscribe to the page. Peace.